Hey. Hey guys, Hey guys, it's Taz. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create a wig using a dome cap and a free part closure. Some people use the glue method. I'm using sewing and the Ivy's flip over method. Feel free to not feel free. Please subscribe to my channel. Also push the notifications button below so that you can know when I post a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Taz0904, and on Snapchat, Taz0904. The hair and all the information that you need to succeed in creating a wig will be in the description below. What else do I need to say? If you would like to see how I accomplished this hairstyle, continue watching. Okay guys, so first thing you want to do is lay the closure down. I recommend sewing on the closure first because that'll really determine how the rest of the hair will lay. I don't know what that little green thing is right there, but disregard. So here I am sewing the closure onto the dome cap, and there are lines on the dome cap to help guide you as to where the closure should be. So the way I sew the closure on is I bring the needle upward through the cap first and then through the closure. When I do this, I feel like it helps flatten the closure out better because you don't want any bulkiness or any knots on the closure when you're sewing it together. So this is the final result of sewing the closure down. It's very flat, and I would say it's about a pinky size apart each stitch, so you definitely don't want it to be too close together because it will be pretty bulky. Coming to an end of sewing all the bundles, the 3 bundles, to the dome cap, and my shape throughout the entire sewing method is kind of a U shape, and then the closer I get to the top it kind of became more of a V shape, and then towards the top I started to just horizontally flip over the tracks because it was obviously too narrow to keep the V going, but it definitely still laid as flat as it could lay getting to the front. So again, for a majority of the wig, sorry it's not in the video, it was a U part starting from ear to ear, and then up top it became a V shaped, and then I sewed it on horizontally, and I did not cut any tracks, hardly cut any tracks. Here I have completed most of the wig, and I'm just going back to fill in. When I start sewing my wigs, I do not sew at the very bottom of the cap. I want to make sure I fill in the middle and the top as much as possible. You want to sew as close as possible to the rim, but also need some T-pins to help keep the tracks in place. You always want to sew also under the weft, not through the weft. I feel that sewing under the weft also keeps it flat. I've noticed when I've sewn through the weft, it kind of created a folded kind of bulky look. So you want to sew under the weft throughout the entire wig. Again, you don't want your stitching to be so close together. So that's another reason why I keep my thumb in place, because it kind of evens out and measures out how far apart your stitching should be. It's never going to be perfect, but separating it about a thumb's width also helps keep the track flat, especially when it's a straighter type of hair. When you have a curly hair or curly wig, it's a little bit easier to kind of camouflage any hiccups, but if you're doing straighter hair, you want to definitely spread out the stitching so that it can lay flat. I like to use the curved needles. I feel like it kind of, I don't know, it just works easier for me, especially with sewing onto a wig cap. There's two ways that you can create a knot when you're getting to the end of a thread on a needle. Some tie the knot, as I am doing right now. I tend to vary. Sometimes I do both, where I tie the knot after I've created the knot when I've sewn it. Again, for security purposes, you'd rather be safe than sorry, so either method is fine. Okay, so one of the final steps is, now that all the bundles and the closure is sewn, you want to cut out underneath the closure, and doing that is also creating the natural part for the free part closure. You don't want to have a free part closure and a black cap underneath. Kind of cancels out the whole natural scalp looking vibe. I kind of did this a little backwards, so usually I will bleach the knots of the closure first, and then I'll sew on the closure and the bundles. But since I didn't, I said I'm still going to do it anyway. So what you'll need is some developer, the liquid developer, either 20, 30, however light you want it to be. This is a 30, and also bleach powder. I always use the BW2 bleach powder. Again, the consistency you want is a lot similar to pancake batter. You want to mix it where it's not really lumpy. You don't want it too liquidy. What I do is, I'm just brushing on little by little, I'm brushing on the bleach to the closure, making sure that I reach every part, and you kind of also dab on it as well. I guess I don't know the proper term, but you want to kind of poke. Just brushing it on won't always necessarily get the black spots out of the closure. So once you've kind of pasted the closure on, you want to kind of dab, do little quick motions as such to make sure that you're reaching the individual black spots. Again, afterwards, being that it reacts to heat, you want to cover whatever part of the hair you bleached with aluminum foil. And depending on how long, you can keep it on for how long. Being that the hair is dark, I did not keep it on for that long. So stay tuned for the final result.